Remember, you have to put it on the point. Okay, click on the point, and then put the label where you want to put it, right there. Boom. Good.
Okay, so actually I should have just done max velocity.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
There. Good enough?
Very good.
All right.
Okay,
Now-
I'm gonna say goodbye to run
Okay.
some
Nice
errands,
meeting
and I'll see
you.
you.
Actually,
I'll see
nice meeting you again,
Okay.
right?
I'll be back in a while.
Okay. Okay. Escape out of that. All right. Now, the next question is, how much time does it take for one cycle?
Okay, so I'll just be from here to here. So to do that, we go to Tools, Label, Add. We're looking at the x-axis this time, but we're looking at how much time would be a value
No.
during a range.
You could put a value, but what we want is the time. We want the difference between the two. So that's
Okay,
a range.
range, right. And that's the x-axis. Let's use here.
Yeah, that's right. Pick the second one. Well, you took 2 cycles there. That's okay.
Yeah, okay, I corrected it.
All right. No, you didn't correct it. You put the time there. So now it's asking you for the start of the range, so do another one.
Okay, so
Pick one of the peaks here. What happened? Got out of it?
right, yeah, I just want to do it over again because this is incorrect here. So I'm going to go to Tools, Label, Remove. Okay, we're going to Tools, Label, and we're doing, we said we're doing it
One
range.
difference.
You got to keep wanting to get a value, right? And
Come in. Yeah. Here, downstairs.
here, and here,
It is.
and then if I want to,
Come here.
What is it? Tell me what it is.
well, it's
Uh-huh.
0, 0. Okay.
right, it only triggers when it goes above, right?
Because I told it to do that. But I could also have it trigger
Higher or lower.
as soon as you press the button if I want it. I just put a minus figure.
Okay, so we don't want that there, we can get artifact.
Okay, good enough. So let's click on that, off, and say go. And now say yes, and save this as number 2.
No,
You know what? I'm sorry. I did a stupid thing. Hold on. Doesn't even matter. What I want to do is I wanted to start a new file, which you need to learn how to do.
Okay.
So
File
come here.
new.
And what I do first is I bring up the file that I know has what I want in it. In this
Okay.
case, this. So I'll bring it up again. All right. Now this is the format I want. Now I say new, and whatever name I put, it will copy this format.
Okay.
Okay. So in this case, I'm going to go to your directory. Red. And we'll say new.
Yeah, let's put another file. I'm not thinking it's something else.
And then we're going to collect the sample. Okay. You know what the zeroing does, by the way?
You're filtering out the light.
Whatever interference,
Yeah,
brings it down to the
68,
0
yeah.
line.
Well, one more comment. Not only it filter that, but if there is any activity on his skin, which is going all the time,
Right.
and you want to zero it up, so everything will start from whatever the baseline,
Right.
where there is no noise. Or there is a noise and it's eliminate the
Right.
noise. Yeah.
Gotcha. Just like,
Okay, beautiful. So when it's no activity, it puts it on or very
Right.
close to the baseline. Okay, so now go ahead off and say go again. And yes, we'll save it. And put a caption there. Okay. Okay, done. Now always turn the battery off or it'll wear out on you. Yeah.
By the way, I have another comment. The reason we have batteries and we don't get the power from the computer, because of your field. We had suddenly FDA problems where if the box connected to the computer where there is a 120,
right.
we had to have an FDA approval.
Yeah, and you have to have a separate ground and everything
And
else.
it's everything over 24 volts needed. So we put 9 volts, we eliminate the connections, everything working on the battery. The only problem with the battery, if you forget the lights on, you lost the battery the next morning.
So there's one tool you have is a couple extra batteries.
Right.
Okay, so now we're going to go out of the analog we've collected, and we can go to display, and we can go to analyze the analog, and pick out the file. And new. And there's only one there, so we'll say select. Okay. And then up here we have a couple of other options.
If you had more than one muscle, you could, that previous screen.
Yeah, you can select the muscles you want, in the order that you want to see them.
Okay.
This is, we'll say data, I'm not sure, I think it'll just show it, yeah, okay.
Also, you can integrate it with the kinematic, by the way, which is
Right.
by the way.
Right. And then other things we have, for example, are fatigue, or integral, let's do integral.
What is the integral going to do?
You can explain maybe.
The area under the curve, but first you have to rectify it, otherwise it will be 0. Because the positive and the negative will subtract from each other.
Where do I rectify it?
Did you rectify it?
No.
So you have to rectify it first.
Where?
Someplace there.
I forget how to do it. I think it does it on.
Oh, okay, maybe it's not doing it automatically.
No reset, all right? So it'll just be, it should. So
Right, okay.
It starts at
That's a
0 and
continuous.
it continues up. It just, at the end, it tells us how much electrical activity occurred over that time period. So I'll do the same thing. I'll say value on the Y. Didn't get it. So it was a total accumulation of 1.099 millivolts per second. And what I do on my FCE is I have the 4 of them going up. And they should be 2 and 2 pretty close, or if there's still some residual stuff going on. What I find is if a muscle is recovering,
Right.
it works harder. So the total integral is higher than the normal side.
The integral is the area under the curve.
Right. What I'm confused about is why it's going up on an angle.
Because it's accumulative.
Okay.
We said no reset.
Yeah. If you say reset, it will,
Yeah, let's
So
do
it's kind of
reset.
giving you the max
Right.
work or max electrical activity.
the
over a
whole
period
thing,
of time.
overall, the whole
Otherwise,
area.
let's say I say integral, and I say over time, and I can reset it every second, let's say.
Yeah. Now you have it
There
every
we go.
second.
So you can do anything you want.
That's the form I'm used to looking at.
Right.
So.
And
But
then-
I guess for your MS patient or post-polio, you really want to see the total work over time.
And maybe every second, and see if every second it starts going down or
And then
going
the second
down.
they do that, that's when you say that's your exercise program right there. You don't want to go above that.
Very good, yeah. You probably know about this aspect more than we know about it. We are more in the kinematic and the motion.
No, but that's basically what you're saying is okay. Well, if you're just looking at the electroactivity is beginning to go down. At
Yes.
a certain point,
Yes.
I don't want it going down. I don't want you fatiguing. You set that point, and then that's the
Oh, by the
exercise
way,
schedule.
you can also put average RMS, integral power
Power spectrum.
spectrum of the curves. And again, we would find that if there was pain, that power would sort of drift to the right. Right. Anyway, fatigue. You can set the parameters. I don't know what that
There is a whole formula. That came from a guy in Belgium, very famous, Clarice. Clarice. Lots of publication about EMG.
Yeah.
So lots of the software, there's some scientists interested in particular parameters, we put it in, and many times we don't know what it means.
This is a linear envelope. You probably know what that means. And the way I did that was I said data, and instead of doing raw, I did the linear envelope. Or you can do both together like that. Okay. Good. Yep.
So you see here is the
Linear.
rectified.
Yeah. How do we change from rectified to unrectified? I forget how to do that.
No, you have the both. The linear is rectified.
You know,
The envelope.
I know, but there used to be a way.
Yeah, I know.
For FCE purposes, then
All we do is to do a little analysis of the product. We've collected EMG. We learned about the